take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. It's time!
It's Sunday, October 30th, 2022. This is the Church of MMA podcast. My name is Tabor Cragen.
My name is Mason Knight. This is episode 142, Kattar versus Allen recap show. After that, we jump to some MMA news, and then we talk about Rodriguez versus Lemos preview show. But before we do all that, Tabor, where do we begin?
With the social media accounts, Mason, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the same at the Church of MMA. Guys, if you aren't following us already, make sure you go and do it. We're posting funny memes, trying to make you guys laugh. Make sure you hit us up over there. Also, guys, when you see us post our shorts, when you see us post our TikToks, feel free to share those on your social media accounts, guys. That really helps us grow. And, grab your girlfriend's phone, grab your mom's phone, your father's phone, anyone that you know's phone, and subscribe to the YouTube channel and also our Rumble as well. Guys, we're really going to start pushing our Rumble. We are live right now on Rumble as well. We multi-stream to Rumble, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and, of course, our YouTube. Guys, we have been demonetized on YouTube. We have been put in jail. We cannot reapply for monetization until about the 26th of November. So we're really pushing Rumble right now. If you guys want to send in those super chats, if you want to join memberships and stuff like that, you can still do that on our Rumble. It goes into our account there. We do have access to that right now. So we're really pushing the Rumble, guys. Really go over there, subscribe. It really helps us out. Make sure you smash the like button, not only here on YouTube, but Rumble as well. And if you're watching on any other platforms, guys, just know we do have all those chats pulled up. We will read those chats, and we see you guys. What else is there? Patreon? Oh, yeah, we're pushing our Patreon again, guys. Since YouTube demonetized us, we no longer have memberships on YouTube right now. So if you want to support the channel, guys, we do have a Patreon. You can go over there. The link should be down in the description or on our link tree in our channel bio. So feel free to go over there and subscribe. We have multiple tiers, guys. The upper tiers gives you discounts to our church merch, our Teespring store. So if you feel like getting a t-shirt, a mug, face mask, anything like that, we have all kinds of different church merch and different designs that go on everything. So make sure you check that out as well. So we did do a fight companion last night.
We did. It was a lot of fun. We all dressed up, or not all of us. Devin was the only one out of costume. He had probably the greatest idea for a costume I'd ever heard in my life.
Halloween's not until tomorrow, so just chill.
It was so relevant. Chill. Okay, I'll chill all I want, but you didn't wear it here. That's what matters. And, at the end of the day, Devin ended up not doing it. I do understand his reasonings, not because he was scared of the publicity, but, those costumes are expensive. So I get it. I understand. But it would have been great. However, I was an average Joe. Tabor was a Jedi. It was a lot of fun.
It really was. It really was. I miss our old Halloween live stream. It's just not the same without a full table.
I know. It's...
we were supposed to have Jimmy on the podcast last night, but, he was so nervous coming on dressed up as, a Viking like he is, that he literally wrecked his truck to get out of it.
Yeah, he literally did. He wrecked his truck just so he didn't have to be on this podcast.
This is absolutely insane.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely insane. I'll give the man this. He's got big balls for being able to do something like that. I mean, thousands of dollars in damage just to be able to not show up. Shout out to Jimmy.
Powerful.
Dedication.
Hopefully he's here in the chats.
Shout out, Jimmy.
He actually sadly passed because of that.
Well, I did hear he snapped his back in half, but I thought he was recovering just fine in the hospital.
Well, he is Thor, so he heals, he regenerates pretty fast.
Good for him, yeah. But come on the podcast next time. What the fuck, man?
Seriously. No excuses.
Yeah, shout out to Jimmy. No, he did get in a car wreck, guys. He didn't show up. But, we still had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
The fights were pretty good, I would say. Overall, it was a good night.
I thought the card was great, man, from top to bottom. I really enjoyed it. A little questionable call on that Khalil Roundtree, Dustin Jacoby fight. I did hit a parlay because of that. Thank you. However, I don't know what the judges were smoking in that fight. That was literally one of the worst judging I've ever seen, period, in the sport. Jacoby outstruck him like almost 3-1. Almost 3-1. And, they gave it to Khalil Roundtree. Don't understand it, don't get it.
Was Khalil pushing the pace at least?
No.
He was landing heavier shots, and Jacoby had more damage, so maybe that's what they were judging it by, which is weird. But
again, the entire fight, when me and Devin were sitting here, you can go back to the fight companion, and I'm like, literally, Dustin Jacoby's landing 6 or 7 strikes to Khalil's 1 here. Do you see this combination? Oh, he landed 4 out of 6. and then Khalil will fire back and clip him with one shot. I thought for sure it was Dustin Jacoby, unanimous decision, 29-28 or 30-27. And then they're like, oh, split decision. I'm like, okay, they're not going to screw this up. Well, never count on the judges. They're a bunch of asshats.
Was this a bigger upset or controversy, do you guys think, than the last week's Sean O'Malley, Petr Yan?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, dude. That fight, seriously.
At least that one was close.
Yeah, at least that one was close. This one was not. And I love Khalil. He's actually one of my favorite fighters. I talk about it all the time. But a fight's a fight, and I got to call it fair here. Like, he did not win that fight, so it was definitely surprising for me. But, yeah, it was a great card overall. I was really bummed about Calvin Kattar. Maybe we just jump into it right now.
Yeah, let's get into the main event of the evening. As always, guys, that's where we start. We'll start at the top. Main event of the evening, Calvin Kattar, Arnold Allen. Controversial stoppage, I would say. Way too early.
Yeah, way too early. It could have just kept going, but instead he decided not to.
Dude, that was disgusting because you literally saw, he threw a kick? No, he got hit with a leg kick on not even the knee that was hurt. So he planted on the hurt knee, and you literally saw the tendon inside of his skin snap.
Yeah,
that's slow motion.
It's literally never fun to watch. I don't care how many times I've seen it. It's just so, it's just so off-putting and excruciating. But yeah, unfortunately, that did happen to Calvin Kattar, and I feel bad for him, man, because like he's been on the wrong end of a couple really close fights. Not talking about that Holloway fight, but also the fact that now you'll probably have to take at least a year off. It sucks.
Yeah, it looked like it was the outside. I think that's the MCL. I could be wrong. Hopefully it wasn't an internal ACL injury. ACLs are so much harder to come back from. I mean, nowadays surgery is absolutely immaculate. Like what these doctors can do with ACL injury used to be a career ender, in the NFL and all these other sports, and same with MMA. But like now they can fix it 100%. You can get a what do they call it? I forget what
stem
they call
cells.
It. No, it's
I know what you're talking about.
The cadaver.
The cadaver, yeah.
Yeah, the cadaver ACL. So you can essentially take one from another body and they'll stitch it in there like it's perfect.
That's so crazy.
Crazy, absolutely crazy what they could do.
I mean, they're not using it, so
yeah, might as well. So it's crazy that happened, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see Calvin Kattar back in the next 6 to 9 months.
Yeah,
so,
hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully everything goes good. As long as it wasn't the ACL, that could be 9, 10 months, a year off. So we'll see. MCL, when I tore my MCL, I didn't even need surgery.
Wow.
So it just literally scar tissued itself back onto the bone, which is pretty crazy that could happen as well. So, hopefully we do see Calvin Kattar soon, but it was unfortunate, dude. The way it happened too, when he tried going for that jumping knee.
Yeah.
And then just landed awkwardly.
Yeah, and then he fell right away, and you could tell he was grabbing at his knee, and I was like, ugh, this is not good. And it kind of sucks to get such like high caliber fights like this back to back with obviously TJ Dillashaw for the bantamweight strap last week, blowing out his shoulder 10 seconds into the fight. Mm-hmm. And now we have this situation where it's like, Calvin Kattar blew out his knee in the
first
very
round.
End of the first round.
Yeah, and it was an extremely competitive first round going back and forth. Like I was leaning Allen slightly because I thought he was landing crisper, cleaner shots. But at the same time, like it was extremely competitive. This was looking to be a 5-round banger.
Yep. From start to finish.
Yeah, and it was so unfortunate that that's the way it ended, man.
Yeah, I was pretty bummed about it. I'm not going to lie. But,
props, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Unfortunately, that's the brutal sport that we watch. That's the brutal sport that we're fans of. And, these things happen in this sport. It's just, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. But what I want to talk about now is obviously Calvin Kattar is going to take some time off. You're saying 6 to 9 months, but let's say even all the way up to a year. So he's kind of off the table right now. What do you want to see next now for Arnold Allen, who has defeated number 5 Calvin Kattar? I think a perfect matchup here. You got Volkanovski is going to take on,
Islam.
Islam Makhachev, the lightweight champion of the world.
Wait, who's the Duts?
I couldn't.
The Duts?
The Duts. I've been up for 26 hours or whatever, so my brain isn't working right now. But, you got Yair Rodriguez, I think would be an awesome matchup stylistically for Arnold Allen. That's the one that I would want to see first and foremost. Because then you have the Max Holloway, Brian Ortega as well at 1 and 3. What are your thoughts here? I mean, what do we do with this featherweight division? It's kind of in limbo. until after Alexander takes on the lightweight champion of the world, Islam Makhachev.
Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate because is Arnold Allen going to leapfrog Josh Emmett? Like, Josh Emmett hasn't fought since that last Kattar fight. When is Josh Emmett fighting? So, it's going to be – it's a 4-man tournament right now. Mm-hmm. You got – Max Holloway's got to be in it. He just deserves that respect, even though we all know he's not getting a title fight. And I wouldn't be shocked if Max Holloway beat all 3 of those men.
Right.
Which would be super unfortunate. So I think you almost have to take Max Holloway's name out of it right now. Max Holloway could fight a Bryce Mitchell coming off a victory over Topuria. He could fight Chan Sung Jung. He could fight Giga Chikadze. He should be fighting down, to build up these guys that need big victories to get back into the top 5. If we really want to have a true number 1 contender fight, it's Arnold Allen, maybe Josh Emmett, or Yair Rodriguez, Josh Emmett. Brian Ortega is probably in the mix as well there. It's tricky what's going to happen in this division. I don't know if there's going to be an interim title fight because Volk's moving up to 155. I'm just confused here. What's going to happen? I think this division is going to be in a little bit of a limbo here. I wouldn't be shocked if we see an interim title probably mid-range 2023.
So who do you give that interim shot to?
It's got to be like Yair and Arnold or Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett's got to be in there, dude. He's on a fucking crazy win streak right now.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't disagree with that. Josh Emmett should be in that discussion, but who's his opponent?
Arnold Allen. Why not? Just do Arnold Allen, Josh Emmett for an interim championship.
I'm totally okay with that. I'm totally fine with that. But realistically, I think what they're going to do is they're going to match up Arnold Allen versus Yair Rodriguez, and I'll tell you why. 2 things. One, that fight was very fast, right? At the end of the first round, he blew out his knee, Calvin Kattar. The fight was over. Arnold Allen did not sustain much damage. With the kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge that the UFC could do with Arnold Allen, he may take a fight with Yair Rodriguez within 4 to 6 months. And then after the winner of that fight takes on Josh Emmett for the interim belt while Alexander...
That makes much more sense because I don't want to just slot Yair into an interim championship. I definitely don't want to slot Brian Ortega coming off of that loss into an interim championship. Exactly. It's like if these guys get a couple more victories under their name, maybe it could happen. But Josh Emmett, without a doubt, deserves to be in that fight. Yep. He should not have to fight to earn that fight.
No.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. Alexander Volkanovski's a fucking savage, so I wouldn't be shocked if he goes up there, beats Islam. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm taking Islam in that fight. Right. But let's say he beats Islam. I wouldn't be shocked if he defended 145 and maybe 4 to 6 months after that.
Okay.
So maybe they don't even do an interim championship.
Maybe not. Maybe it won't be necessary. That's what I'm hoping. Realistically, I hope Alexander Volkanovski and Islam Makhachev can fight in March. Mm-hmm. Because obviously, the latter half
February
of the year... you have Ramadan and stuff like that, and it's like, he cannot fight. So he's kind of got to get his fights in that 9 to 10 month range, because of religious purposes. So, hopefully that is something that we can get done very, very soon.
I wouldn't be shocked if it's February. I don't think Ramadan's early 2023, right?
No,
that's like
no, it's in
spring,
like the fall or whatever, spring. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm not too accustomed to the Islamic faith, but
yeah, yes. Me neither. Aunt W, shout out to you, my guy. He's here in the chat. Some ACL tear recoveries are down 6 months these days. That's pretty crazy. Also had Ortega versus Yair injury in the same division. Very true. Can't keep letting Max pick off contenders. Got to hold Max out until we see the revolts of Volk and Islam. Whatever division Volk chooses to stay in, Max needs to go to the other. I think Volk would defend both.
Yeah.
I think he's one of those guys. I don't think he's going to want to give up 145. Like, why not? Especially if he can still make weight. Like, let's say he beats Islam. If he beats Islam, there's nobody in 155 touching Volk. Like, that'll solidify Volk as the very best fighter in the world, period, no matter what. Like, one of the goats.
What do you even...
Who could contend with... If Volk beats Islam, who could beat Volk?
Bro, but yeah, I haven't even thought about that scenario, if I'm being honest. If Alexander Volkanovski beats Islam Makhachev, because I just don't see it happening. But, and that's no disrespect. Again, number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. I have to preference that every time. And am I saying, there's no way in hell? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I do see Islam winning that fight for a plethora of reasons. But if Alexander Volkanovski wins that, what happens to the lightweight division? You have Islam Makhachev.
They just all
you have
freak
Charles
out.
Oliveira, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Beneil Dariush, Michael Chandler. Who's going to get the next? I know, but who's going to get the next shot? Not the winner of Poirier versus Chandler. I mean, not the winner of Charles versus Gaethje.
It's going to be Conor. You fucking know it. Just watch. Just
be
fucking
honest,
watch. Volk's going to want that money fight, baby. He's already talking shit to him.
To be honest, it would kind of make sense. I mean, everyone else kind of lost to him already, or no one's going to beat him. So, I mean, kind of makes sense to do a Conor fight.
I know, man.
In that one instance, which sucks, but
Yeah, and W just said, if Volk holds both belts, UFC needs to find a trade for Max Holloway like they did for DJ. Can't keep making that fight, and Holloway is smoking everyone else. Yeah, I mean, he smokes. I think if you put Max Holloway up against Arnold Allen, I think it's an extremely competitive fight, but I'm leaning Max Holloway in that.
Yeah.
You know, you put Max Holloway versus fucking Josh Emmett, I'm leaning Max Holloway in that fight. Like, it's absolutely insane. That's why I'm saying, like, Max Holloway needs to fight down. He needs to fight like a top 10 guy. He doesn't need to be fighting top 5 guys right now, killing off contenders, because we need to see some 145 championships here soon. And Volk's just going to smoke them all.
But, I mean, does Max really want to continue fighting, taking on guys that he knows he's going to beat and knows he'll never get a shot at the title
trade him
again?
the PFL. Send him off the PFL, man.
Yeah.
He'd probably make way more money over there, too. And he gets the $1 million payday no matter what when he's champion over there. Let's fucking go.
I enjoy watching him, though.
I know. It's one of my favorites. I really do. Yeah, it's just crazy. I don't know what's going to happen here. If Volk moving up in this division is really setting a precedent that, you know, we've seen a lot of log jams in the past. This kind of stuff happens, so I wouldn't be shocked if 145's in there.
This is why I wish there was like a 165 division. I mean, in instances like this, they just kind of need to move up. They're not going to move up to 170, so.
Well, if there was a 165, every 155er would be a 165er. You know, almost every 145er would probably go up to 155.
It just makes so much sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very excited to see what happens here in the future of this 145-pound division. I shout out to Arnold Allen, dude. He's so fucking good, so crisp, so clean, so young, not even in his prime yet. And the fact that he is this high level of a mixed martial artist, it's extremely impressive. And no matter who he fights in the future, other than like a Max Holloway, I'm probably taking him in that fight. I wouldn't be shocked if he beat Josh Emmett. I wouldn't be shocked if he beat Yair Rodriguez. I wouldn't be shocked if he beat Brian Ortega. Max Holloway is the one where I'm really thinking about, though. Like, I don't know, because Max Holloway is that guy. So I am excited for the future, though. Do you want to get into Church Coin picks?
Sure.
All right, so let's get into Church Coin. I did take Kattar in this fight. I had 3,000 Church Coin on Kattar, and my prop bet was Kattar decision, 500 Church Coin, so I am out. 3,500 Church Coin there.
I put 3,000 on Arnold Allen, hit that for 3,150, and then Allen by decision lost that for 200.
All right, let's move on to the co-main event of the evening. We have Tim Means and Max Griffin. Max Griffin with the split decision victory over Tim Means. Max Griffin almost finished Tim Means early in that first round, and then Tim Means survived like a savvy vet that he is, and then started really putting it on Max Griffin. I do think the judges got this correctly. I see why maybe someone gave the second and third to Tim. Like, he really did start looking a lot more alive. I think getting dropped in the first round really put him on notice about Max Griffin's power. And he's just such a savvy vet, dude. Like, he knew what to do in all of those situations. And, you know, he was fighting very well from then on. But I did lean it to Max Griffin. I do think the judges got it right there.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, Max Griffin definitely won that fight. I do like Tim Means, and I like everything he's done in his career. But, you know, he's 38 now. He is getting older. Mm-hmm. He doesn't look bad, but I mean, this was a really good fight. This was a hard fought fight. So I don't know. I mean, he's not on a big losing streak, is he? Tim Means?
No, well, but he did lose to Holloway.
He lost to Holland.
Holland, yeah.
But then beat Nicholas Dalby. So, yeah, I guess that's only 2 fights in a row. Yeah, he's still got plenty of time. He's a tough guy.
Were you guys surprised that this was a split decision?
A little bit.
I thought it was going to be unanimous.
Yeah, I definitely saw this unanimous.
Well, one judge had it 30-27, Max Griffin. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I don't really know which rounds you would give to Tim. I thought Max did very well.
Eric Cullen gave him the second and third round. I kind of could see the second round.
I can see the second.
But I don't really agree with the third round.
Yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Max Griffin is just, like, he's developed so much over these last few years. Like, he's getting better and better, and he still has that knockout KO power. And we saw that in the first round. He almost got that finish. Tim Means, just savvy vet, fucking survived and weathered the storm there. So I'm excited to see what happens here. Max Griffin's finally moving his way back up. He's super close to a top 15 matchup. I think maybe one more matchup here. Like, you know, I think we have Daniel Rodriguez is fighting this weekend, right?
Yep.
against someone really competitive.
Neil Magny.
So that's a big
That'll
matchup.
be a great fight.
Maybe the loser of that fight could take Max Griffin.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'm totally okay with that.
100%.
You know, Max Griffin's probably right there on the cusp of being a top 15 fighter. It's just, is he going to do well in the top 15? I don't know. I think he needs to develop a little bit more of his grappling skills. He's a really good striker. He's got knockout power. We all know that. But, you know, I just haven't seen Max Griffin enough on the ground. There has been times he's been taken down and dominated there, and this is a very wrestling-heavy division. So if he could develop those grappling skills a little bit better, he could, without a doubt, be a top 15 fighter here.
I agree.
All right, let's move on to Church Coin picks. I took Griffin, 500 Church Coin. Worked out for me, gave me a return of 277 on top of my initial investment.
Yeah, I put 250 on Means just because I like the guy. He's a savvy vet. His fights are always entertaining, and he's a guy that I just love to watch. But ended up losing that for 250 Church Coin.
All right, next matchup, we have Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Jared Vandera. And this is another controversial decision, guys. I did not see Waldo Acosta winning this matchup. It was an absolute robbery. Vandera did enough. The way he was circling around the cage and throwing leg kicks, the judges really need to take that into a factor. They really need to understand that those leg kicks are deadly. I saw Acosta go out on a stretcher from those leg kicks. So, yeah. Circling away from the cage doing leg kicks is a lot. You should win a fight for doing that.
This is a good bet you got going. You opening for Helium tonight?
I think so, actually.
Yeah, no, this was all where's Waldo. Waldo was right in front of your face the whole time, and he beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, dude, that guy did nothing.
No.
He literally circled around the cage.
That's it.
And threw leg
That's
kicks
it.
the entire fight.
Bro, it was
so hard to watch, man. Vandera was not impressed last night.
Yeah, no. That was the least impressive performance I've seen in a while. Least inspiring I've seen as well. Yeah, no, Waldo got it done, man. It was pretty easy for me to judge that fight, but it is what it is. There it is. I mean, what do you say?
What are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing everything I can. The way I circled around the cage and I threw more leg kicks. Like, what's his coach saying in the corner? You're doing great, kid. You got this. You got this, kid. Yeah, just round it out. Circle around the cage some more. What the fuck? He literally did nothing else for 3 straight rounds.
I know.
It was crazy.
It was bad.
It was really hard to watch. It really was. I was so upset. But shout out to Jared Vandera. I absolutely love the way he circled around the cage, threw those leg kicks, baby. Yeah, World's Waldo looked good, though.
Yeah, he did.
He really did. You know, had
Definitely.
pretty good hands, fast hands for a heavyweight dude. I'm excited for his future. He's a Contender Series guy, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, shout out to him. I'm
Still
definitely
undefeated.
going to be watching him here in the near future. But let's move on to Church Coin picks. I did take Waldo 500 Church Coin. He was a heavy favorite. Gave me a 256 return.
And I had the exact same bet for 500 Church Coin. Got a 256 return.
All right, let's move on to the next matchup. Josh Fremd versus Trayshawn Gore. I didn't watch this fight, so I don't know if Trayshawn Gore actually went through adversity, but I did see the highlight of the finish. That guillotine, it looked like his head was about to pop off.
It was nasty.
It looked
bro.
like he was
a
breaking his
wild, neck. That's what I thought too. It was a very wild submission, and at one point you did think you're like, "Oh, fighter safety. He might have broke his neck there.
Yeah, he might have killed that guy.
I might have actually killed him in the octagon." Trayshawn Gore got a little too emotional and took it one step too far because he murdered that man in the octagon that day. But no, the guy ended up being fine. It is what it is. But yeah, choked him out. It was a really good choke too, man. I mean, he just, as soon as he sunk that thing in, he was not letting go. No matter what happened, he wanted that victory, and he did get it. So shout out to Trayshawn Gore after everything he's been through. I was rooting for him really hard in this fight, and I'm glad he got the W after starting out 0-2 in the UFC. He finally got that first win. It's got to feel good.
So what's the backstory? Why was he so emotional coming into this matchup? I heard something about his mom having diabetes and getting her leg amputated.
Yeah, man, he just basically talks about, you know, and kind of what I brought up, you know, about the sacrifices that fighters, I brought it up last week on our episode, like the sacrifices that fighters make and that no one really notices, and the things that are going on in their life that no one really cares about, or no one really, like, it takes initiative to know going into a fight and what's leading up to, you know, everything that encompasses a professional fight in the UFC. And, you know, his mom had diabetes. She got her leg amputated. And, you know, he said that, you know, she had an addiction and just was, you know, eating food and doing all that, doing the wrong things. And it was just really emotional for him because he's taking care of his mom and he's really close to his mom, and that's completely understandable. So, and then going 0-2 in the UFC and being scared that you're going to get cut, you know, when all you've wanted to do your whole life was do the right thing. and not get in trouble and stuff and hang around the friends that were doing the bad things. So it was just a big, long speech, and it was emotional. It was powerful. And I'm just really happy that he got a victory here.
Tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. Absolutely he did get a $50,000 bonus as well from a performance of the night bonus. So hopefully that really helps him out, pays those medical bills for his family, and hopefully we see him very soon. Dude, the squeeze that was there, the absolute power there was scary. Wow, I really thought he was going to break that guy's neck. At that submission, it was that scary. So shout out to Trayshawn Gore. I'm very excited for his future.
Yes, sir.
Tough alum, so I cannot wait to see what happens here soon. Hopefully he gets a top 15 matchup next. Let's throw him in there with Jorge Mas. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, he's going to have to work his way up, dude. He was on a 2-fight losing streak, finally broke the streak, has his first win inside the UFC, so that's I understand why the emotions there.
Yeah.
Without being in the UFC for as long as he has, he's only been in for like 6 months, but he hasn't gotten a victory yet. That's got to be extremely stressful. If he got lost 3 in a row and hadn't gotten a win, was he going to get cut? Was he going to get out of the UFC?
There's a really good possibility when you get cut 3 times in a row if your name's not Sam Alvey.
Yeah, well, let's go, baby. Sam Alvey. He didn't deserve that. But shout out to Trayshawn Gore. I'm very happy for him. So let's move on to Church Coin picks. I put 500 on Trayshawn Gore. I thought the power was going to come through and ended up being the submission game. But it all ended good for me. 500 Church Coin gave me a return of 800 Church Coin.
Yeah, I put 400 on Gore, got a return of 640.
All right, let's move on to the next matchup. Dustin Jacoby versus Khalil Roundhouse Jr. I don't see how anyone thought Dustin Jacoby won this fight. Khalil looked fantastic. He was pushing the pace, pushing on the pressure.
Oh, he's still going for it, isn't he?
Roundhouse?
Roundhouse.
He goes, when all else fails, try the exact same joke again. But
no,
that's
I didn't watch
actually
this
how
fight,
you perfect the craft, let me tell you. If you eat shit on stage, you go back up and do it again.
Yeah, you just got to eat more shit.
Yeah, and you just
Never
keep eating
Eventually,
shit
that
until you
shit
don't
tastes better.
Yeah. No, but yeah, man, I don't know what the judges were watching here. I don't know what they were smoking. Apparently, it was real good stuff, whatever it was, because I don't see how you could have scored that fight for Khalil Roundtree, and that's coming from a big fan of his. It was an absolute robbery. Dustin Jacoby won that fight. He outstruck him almost 3-1. I don't know. I don't get it. This is one of those, I don't know, fuck it. It's the judges, you just throw your hands up in the air and just shake your head in disbelief, because sometimes the utter ignorance of these judges is just appalling. But, I mean, I don't know what else to say on that.
I didn't watch it. I'm going to be honest. I was driving here while the fight was on because I slept in like a pleb. But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. It is what it is. Khalil, I'm a big fan of Khalil, and he's another guy kind of like Uriah Hall, who's his own worst enemy. If he's not in the right mental space, he's just not in a good fight. Yeah. So hopefully he was in a good one here. He did get the nod by the judges. Did you even think, what rounds would you say Khalil won?
I wouldn't say he did win one.
I would say he won rounds 2 and 3.
Yeah, I would say the third. But 1 and 2, it was all Dustin, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. All right, let's move on to Church Coin picks. I put 500 Church Coin on Khalil Roundtree, and you bet your ass I'm cashing that fucking ticket in for a return of $725 on top of my original investment.
Yeah, I put 750 on. I got a return of 1,087 Church Coin.
All right, opening fight card. Oh, no, the last fight of the prelim main event, Philip Haas versus Roman Dolidze. Roman Dolidze getting a KO in the first minute of the fight. Absolutely vicious. I did not see this either.
No, exactly? Phil Haas blew out. He blew out his knee, and then
really,
yeah.
Oh fuck, another one.
Unfortunately, yeah, another knee blown, which just sucks. But again, that's the sport, man. You're gonna see it more frequently. The better these guys get at leg kicks, and
Was he circling around the cage?
No. He didn't have time. He was knocked out within a minute.
He should have thrown a leg kick.
He had time to circle around a cage.
Jared Van Der is like, just throw a leg kick. No, yeah. Shout out to Philip Haas. I am a big fan of his, and shout out to Roman Dolidze. I am a really big fan of his as well. Obviously, the power showed out last night to get the KO TKO there. But late knee blown out. It is what it is there. So I don't know what they're going to do with Dolidze. He's on the cusp of a top 15 opponent. He's either going to get one or he's not. So I don't really know what to do here for his next fight, but I am excited because Roman Dolidze is a fucking beast. He's got really good striking and an extremely overwhelming ground game, I would say. So I am excited for his future. Let's move on to Church Coin picks. I put 500 Church Coin on Roman Dolidze. Gave me a return of 675 as the dog.
Nice. I put 500 on Haas and lost that one.
All right, let's go on to parlays. Mason, I did not hit my parlay this week because I was about to. I had Deladze Gore and Max Griffin, but my last fighter on my parlay was Calvin Kattar, and it was it was a 4-fight parlay, 500 church coin, and for it to bust like that with the busted knee just really sucked.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, man. I'm praying for you. I hope you can recover here. But my parlay hit, Allen Acosta Roundtree for 1,500 church coin. Got a return of 9,897.
All right, let's do church coin totals. Overall, even though I hit, a vast majority of my fights, I didn't hit the main event. That was the biggest bet there, and I didn't hit my parlay. So that's really unfortunate. I ended up losing 1,267 church coin overall. It could have been way worse for me. I ended up hitting all my fights other than the main event, which was good. It helped me, so I didn't lose too much church coin, but I do have a new total of 12,521 church coin going into next week.
All right, yeah, my new total here, I did have 6,863.
Tripled it.
I gained 13,930, so I have 20,793 church coin going into the next week.
Tripled your numbers, my guy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, let's move on to MMA news. All right. First thing on the agenda for MMA news. Let's talk a little bit about UFC 282. So it is coming out. Jon Jones has been very vocal on Twitter. He's been saying he's ready to fight. He's saying he signed his contract. And the only thing holding this fight with Stipe going back is Stipe, apparently, and he keeps on telling Stipe to sign the contract. This is very interesting because for the longest time, it was not Stipe the one holding up this fight from happening for over the last year and a half. I mean, essentially, it's been Jon Jones. So did the UFC give Jon Jones a new offer? Did he finally accept, or did he accept the original one, and now it's Stipe's side, or is this just Jon Jones just gaslighting everybody?
Well, I mean, let's look at the history of Jon Jones and just how good he is historically at getting in the head of his opponents. Okay, I mean, look at throughout his career. You got the DC beef between them, them going at it both times. Just no one likes Jon, and I think Jon is just the best chess player in the game. I think he's got the highest fight IQ, and I think he's just playing mind games, mental games with Stipe because, as you said, Tabor, it took him a year and a half to finally take this fight, and now all of a sudden he's like, oh, it's Stipe. Stipe's not taking the fight. Stipe's not taking the fight. I mean, we don't know everything that's going on in the background. I mean, these could just be psychological warfare going on with Jon Jones. I do think this fight's going to happen, though. I have optimism for it, and I think it's going to be a great fight when it does happen. And whether it happens in December or it happens in March, I don't care when it is. I'm tuning in for this.
Oh, absolutely. It's the only fight to make right now that Francis is essentially out. We don't know if Francis is coming back. A lot of people are speculating maybe he'll fight one more time. But he says he will not re-sign with the UFC unless there's a boxing stipulation in it. He's even come back like months ago. Remember, he said that he wasn't even going to fight again. He was just going to wait out his contract. He did get injured in that last matchup. He was injured in camp before the matchup happened, so now he's been off for a very long time. If this fight does happen, is it for the interim championship? I think it almost needs to be. If it's not, it's going to be a weird situation here because you essentially already wiped out your number one contender in Stipe Miocic with Jon Jones, and it wasn't even for a title.
My only issue with that is how many times in the heavyweight division are we going to do this to Francis Ngannou, where it's like he wins the belt, interim belt. He wins the belt, interim belt.
Well,
or defends the belt.
In this case, the last one was bullshit. I'll give you that. The Derek Lewis, Cyril Gane, he was literally he fought like 3 or 4 months before that fight.
Correct.
So, I mean, this one, he's been out for a very long time, man. I think it's been over 6 months now. When was this matchup made?
But is 6 months warrant why is it that Aljamain Sterling can fight, in June of next year? That's when he wants to fight next. But, you got Francis Ngannou,
well, let's be realistic, though.
Who has an injury.
Well, it was February, correct? Was that when this fight was made, or was it January?
The
Francis versus Cyril Gane. Let's look this up really quick so we have our facts straight. I'm going to look this up. Give me 2 seconds. I believe he last fought in like January, man. Let's see.
Yeah, but I mean, he's also dealing with a severe leg injury, on top of that. So it's like his last fight was January 22nd, 2022 against obviously Cyril Gane.
Yeah, it was January. So, I mean, he's been out almost a year now. And by the time he does come back, it'll be over a year. If you haven't fought in a year, I think an interim title is definitely warranted. 3-4 months is absolutely ridiculous. Even 6 months, I would say, is ridiculous.
But we're talking a year and 2 months. I mean, give the guy a little change, right?
Well, that's the thing, though.
But
here's the biggest caveat. Is he going to fight? He's historically come out and said, I ain't fighting unless I get a new deal. And if that deal doesn't have boxing in it, I'm not fucking fighting and I'm leaving the UFC. All he's got to do is, wait till, I think, February, and he's out. He's a free agent.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and that is a good possibility. I mean, he very well could become a free agent and just leave and not fight for the heavyweight strap. So, yeah, I guess in that capacity and that, side of things, yeah, maybe an interim champ is warranted, and maybe we just do it that way. That way the UFC has a backup plan in case Stipe says, or excuse me, in case Ngannou says, yeah, peace, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to the chats real quick. Hello from Saudi Arabia. Thank you for showing up again, my guy. I'm just going to start calling you Saudi because I have no idea what your name says. But thank you for showing up once again. He was also here last night.
Yeah, thanks,
Benji.
man.
Sup, fellas? I promise that I watch all the time, even though I'm unable to comment. It's all good, bro.
Hey,
thanks
no
for
worries.
showing up.
Just thanks
smash
for
the like
watching,
button,
man.
yeah.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely. I don't know what's going to happen here for UFC 282, but I feel like it's not going to be a complete card unless it has Stipe versus John Jones on it, because that has been the hype. That is what people have been wanting. That is what everyone thinks is going to happen here. Hopefully it does happen. If it is Stipe holding it up, I don't really know why. Stipe historically has not been the guy to hold up a fight from happening and not being able to sign a contract. And if this fight isn't made here in the next couple days, I don't think it's going to happen. There's no fucking way. I know they've both been training, but there's no way they're not going to give themselves a good 2 months notice and sign this contract.
Yeah, but I think they are training. I think low-key they are training, and they have been preparing for each other because they do know that they're the perfect opponent for one another. So I agree. I agree with that to a certain extent, but I also don't agree with that in the capacity of if Dana White came and gave John Jones exactly what he wanted, he would take that fight.
I wonder if
I think it's just contract negotiations. It's getting inside Stipe's head. I mean, there's a lot of pieces of this chess board, moving right now.
Well, we know Stipe is still getting a big purse too. Like, greatest heavyweight of all time. He's probably still in his championship contract.
Well, he's in his championship clause. Yeah, 100%.
So he's probably still doing that. And especially if there's an interim title belt, maybe if they did give John Jones whatever he wanted and Stipe saw that, he's going, well, I need more too.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't be surprised. And he definitely deserves that. But is he going to get it? I don't know. Stipe historically isn't the biggest draw, even though he is, quote unquote, the greatest heavyweight of all time.
Right.
So we'll see. I'm very excited for that matchup, though. Like, gun to my head, that matchup, I'm taking John Jones. I think he's just immaculate at everything. But I wouldn't be shocked, man. Stipe has beaten some of the best in this division. He did beat Francis once. Yes, it was a different Francis that we see today. But I mean, like, I wouldn't be shocked if Stipe did defeat John Jones, but at the same time, I am leaning John Jones in that matchup. I just think he has way too many weapons. He has way more weapons. He's way more technical. He's way more skilled than Stipe, in my opinion. But I'm very excited to see what happens there.
As am I.
So let's move on to other MMA news. So did you watch the Paul versus Anderson Silva boxing matchup last night?
Did I watch the Paul versus Anderson Silva matchup last night? No, I didn't.
I didn't either.
No, I did not watch it. I could not justify spending 60 of my hard-earned dollars watching something that I knew inevitably was probably going to happen. Just because, like, I do respect Jake Paul. Like, I have a lot of respect for Jake Paul as a athlete, as a boxer, and I take him very seriously. I also understand that Anderson Silva was one of the greatest mixed martial artists to ever grace the octagon. He is in the highest regard in the MMA community. But Father Time is undefeated, and you had to factor it in. He's 47 years old. I mean, 3 years away from 50. He's taken on a guy who is extremely talented at 24 years old in the prime of his career, who has been training specifically in boxing, while Anderson Silva's been doing, mixed martial arts his whole life. I had a feeling that, it was probably going to go to decision and Jake was probably going to win that fight. And I actually, even before the fight on the podcast, we both had Jake Paul winning the fight. Well, I love Anderson Silva, and this does not hurt his legacy at all. Because guess what? It's boxing. It was a win-win for Silva. He got millions of dollars. He got paid. He got the continued respect that he deserves. And it's so awesome to see a guy like Anderson Silva get a big payday like that. Because, like, he didn't get the recognition that Conor McGregor did, or Jorge Masvidal. And, like, if anyone deserved it, it was the Spider, man. It was Anderson Silva. So for him to finally get hopefully at least $1 million out of this. I hope Jake paid him. I hope Jake, really made sure that, because he's talking about fighters' pay. I really hope that, he made sure Anderson Silva was taken care of, which I'm sure he did.
50-50, 50 for show, 50 for winning.
That'd be pretty awesome. That'd be pretty graceful.
I'm pretty sure it was 500,000.
Oh, 50K. Oh, I thought
50 million?
meant
No, you ain't
500,000.
getting $50 million, dude.
I'm pretty sure Jake was guaranteed 1 or 1.5, and then Anderson was guaranteed 500,000 plus 35% of pay-per-views, and then Jake got 65% pay-per-view. So nice little check for Anderson.
Yeah, man. I mean, $1 million bucks in the bank.
1.3.
Yeah, $1.5 million for Silva. That's awesome, man. I'm glad he got that big payday. Because he deserved it, and he had so many incredible fights, man. I mean, iconic moments. The Vitor Belfort front kick that we have right here, like, man, some special memories. So it was fun. It was a good, I got to watch the highlights on ESPN or whatever, and it was great for what it was. But I just didn't end up paying for it to watch one fight, because I would have paid $60 for 8 rounds.
So you said you didn't pay for it. I just want a clarification. So
I did not watch it. Period.
Are you saying you illegally streamed it? Then?
No, I'm too stupid. I don't even know. I don't know how you illegal streamers. I don't know where you find the streams. I literally have no idea. It's
crack
his foot.
streams.
It's his foot. He always does that.
I think it's crack streams.
But yeah, I have no idea what you use or whatever. So no, I did not illegal stream anything.
Okay, I just want to make that clear for the pay-per-view people.
Sure, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch it either, dude. I watched some highlights on TikTok. And Anderson didn't look bad. He looked pretty fucking good.
Yeah, he landed some clean shots. He landed some nice some left hooks too.
And it was classic Anderson Silva too. He was toying with him. He was doing the head movement thing.
I guess a lot of people thought that Anderson won.
I wouldn't be shocked by that.
They're saying it was a little bit of a nonsense, and Keith wasn't there, but.
See, that's why we just gotta have Keith officiate every single fight from now on, so that way there is absolutely no nonsense taking place.
Make clones of Keith so he can be everywhere, all at once.
We'd literally run out of Newports and whiskey, so I don't think that'd be possible.
We'll ramp up production
just for him. Keith needs to come out with his own brand of cigarettes.
Yeah,
his own brand of cigarettes and whiskey.
Keith Ports,
you gotta love it.
You heard it here first, guys. We need to copyright that. Yeah, I didn't watch it. I did see some highlights. Anderson did look good. I wouldn't be shocked if there was some fuckery going on there in the decision, but I didn't watch the fight, so I couldn't really comment on that. But I did see that Paul did knock him down a couple times. So, yeah, I think we just got to talk about it, man. Paul he's a legitimate boxer.
Yep.
When is he going to fight another legitimate boxer? Because I'm kind of just done watching him knock out and beat MMA guys in the past. Now he wants to fight Nate Diaz, another smaller guy than him.
I think that one makes sense though, more than anything else.
I don't think that.
Let's just give Nate a bag though. Is what I'm saying.
Nate deserves the bag. I'll give you that.
I just want to give
let's
Nate
get Nate the bag. That's fine.
But also Uriah Hall was saying he would box Jake, and I think I'd actually take Jake in that. So.
I'd take Jake in that as well.
Yeah, for sure.
There's also the Tommy Fury, which was overdue. We could also do that.
That's one I'd actually still want to see. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Because Tommy Fury is just a boxer. Yeah. Like he's not a mixed martial artist, and I don't want to see Uriah Hall take. Bro, come on. You beat Le'Veon Bell. That's great. Who trains? Who is trained boxing his whole life, but was primarily a football player, right? Like, there's a difference from training boxing and then full on being a boxer and having training camps and stuff in boxing. So, and not only that, but Le'Veon Bell is older now. I don't know.
I think they'll try to push for the Diaz fight just because he was there and the drama surrounding that and whatnot, and his friend was fighting on that card. So. I think that's what they try to push the most, but what makes the most sense is the Tommy Fury fight, and he was piping up too, but we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Shout out to the chat. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name correctly, so my bad, but he says hello from Saudi Arabia. Hello.
Yep. Shout out my guy.
Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Benji.
Shout out to Benji as well. I don't give a shit who fucking fights next. I just don't care. I'm not going to watch it. It doesn't interest me at all. The last time we watched a Jake Paul fight, I literally was so fucking bored. I wanted to go home the entire time.
That was the
fun.
Triller days, though. Those were pretty bad. Never do
Snoop
a concert.
Dogg,
Never have
a concert
Doja
in between
Cat.
every fucking fight.
Bro, Doja Cat to the moon. She's still riding that Doge all the way to planet Pluto or Uranus or whatever. I don't know. She's going somewhere.
Uranus.
Her anus is definitely fat. Well, yeah, it is what it is, man. I don't give a shit about Jake Paul's boxing career, to be honest. I'll watch the Tommy Fury fight if it happens, but I'm just kind of over watching him just fight old MMA guys that are way past their primes. And Nate Diaz would just be another one of those. And he'd probably knock Nate Diaz out.
Nate Diaz would get smoked.
Yeah,
like, come on, guys.
Guys.
Okay, hold on. Let me break it down for you. Get your ass kicked for 5 rounds, and then you'll land one good shot and point at someone. Nate Diaz, 170 pounds. Jake Paul, 185 pounds. Nate Diaz, not a power puncher and not a volume puncher in boxing. He's a volume puncher in MMA, not a volume puncher in boxing. Jake Paul, power puncher, volume puncher, can put the pace on. Yeah, Nate Diaz has got the cardio, but he's got the cardio to get pieced up. I don't want to watch that. I have no interest. If it's Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul, I'm not watching it. There's no way. It's ludicrous. Nate doesn't stand a chance against Jake Paul. It just, in no world does that make sense.
I disagree, but you were entitled to your opinion, sir.
I mean, and I love, I want to root for my MMA guys. I love Nate Diaz.
It doesn't sound like it.
Know?
Did you see that?
What do you want me to do? Fucking sit here and lie? Devin,
Yes.
do you want me to lie?
Yes.
Oh, Nate Diaz is just as big as Jake
Yep.
Paul, who walks around at
is true.
220, and Nate Diaz walks around at 185 pounds.
That
if
is
we're
true,
lucky,
yes.
soaking wet.
100%.
With a diaper on.
Yep.
What do you want? Yeah, exactly.
Did you see that he got in a
guys are
fight
just
with his team?
Dorks.
In the
You guys are
hallway?
dorks.
Did you see that he got in a fight in his team this hallway? Nate Diaz
Oh,
slapped
we got.
some
Looks like we
guy.
got Top G today, or Great Value G.
I don't know who I am today.
You don't know
God,
who
you
you are.
Who knows?
No,
Changes every day.
but to end all of this, Nate Diaz was there in attendance, and he was doing some
was.
tomfoolery, classic Nate Diaz Stockton shit. He slapped some fucking kid in the hallway or whatever.
Yeah, and he also got escorted out of the building.
I'm not
mid-fight.
shocked. I'm not shocked. The dude's kind of a clown. But people love that kind of shit.
They do, man. They,
sure do.
eat it right on up.
All right. Well, that's probably what they're going to do next. Him
Yeah,
and Nate. Why not? Fuck
Probably.
it. All right. Well, let's move on to other MMA news. So GSP is finally a free agent after all the years of just staying under contract, not being able to do shit. He wanted to do a boxing match. Dana said no, told him to go fuck himself. But now GSP is finally free to do whatever he wants. He did put it out in a post on Twitter and Instagram. I am free. What's next? Will we see Jake Paul possibly boxing GSP in the future?
Or now, are you taking
GSP
Jake
boxing
Paul still?
anybody? Yes,
So-
100%.
If that happens, I'm still not watching. It is a dumb fight. Let me tell you why. Again, for the same reasons why Nate Diaz is not a good fight. George St. Pierre is a welterweight. He just made a test cut when they were hypothetically talking about him fighting Khabib Nurmagomedov. Now, you can sit here and be like, well, Mason, he did win. He did win the middleweight belt against Michael Bisping. Yeah, and then had medical issues 4 months after that lasted a very, very long time for the man because he could not naturally make 185. And now you want him to take on a guy, the prime of his career, an actual boxer, 24, 25 years old, and you want to take on a 41-year-old GSP who can't even make middleweight. Don't want to see it. Don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either, but he might do
GSP's
something.
not even like a boxer anyway. It just, no. And GSP would never take that fight. He's got way too much, what's the word I'm looking for? Not pride. Not
Principle?
pride, but principle. Yeah, there you go. Principle. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, GSP, I don't know what he's going to do. I wouldn't be shocked to see him do some celebrity boxing matches, stuff like that. So, yeah, hopefully he makes good matchups, though, because I don't want to see GSP just go out there and get smoked by some dude. No. But he's finally a free agent, man. He's finally can do whatever the fuck he wants. You know, he's been locked in a contract for so long, and to finally see that he's able to do what he wants without anybody saying no, I'm very happy for
You know what would be a
GSP.
big sell for GSP, man? If he went and did like the grappling matches and stuff. Like, especially here and like, because they do them like locally in like LA and Portland and stuff. Like that would be cool, man. I'd love to go out there and see that.
Absolutely.
That'd be sweet. That'd be worth the drive.
Absolutely. The dude's in fantastic shape still to this day.
Oh, yeah. He's
just
still an
doing
athlete,
nothing.
man. He's literally an athlete still to this very day. He looks great.
Shout out to GSP. Let's move
One
on
of
to
the
the
best
last.
to ever do it.
Absolutely. Let's move on to the last little bit of MMA news. So Raul Rojas Jr., the 17-year-old phenom that was signed to the UFC, the youngest UFC fighter on the roster to date, just turned 18, not too recently.
Yep.
He is set, and he has a UFC debut set for UFC 282, a pay-per-view card. It's not going to be on the main card, obviously. It'll probably be a prelim. But still, I forget the guy whose names he's fighting. It's a dude I've never heard of before. But this Raul Rojas Jr. kid is definitely somebody I'm going to be watching. Young, up-and-coming bantamweight. He's very long, lengthy, just like a Sugar Sean O'Malley was when he got signed to the UFC. So... and he's a grappler first, so completely different style. But I'm very excited to see what this kid could do in the UFC. And I love that they're putting him on a big pay-per-view card.
100%, dude. I mean, I am already such a big fan of this kid that, like, all I want to do is see him succeed. Like, it is literally one of the craziest stories in UFC history. I mean, I really do believe, like, 25 years, 30 years from now, we're going to look back and be like, remember that one time, because it still hasn't happened up until this point. Remember that one time the UFC signed a 17-year-old kid? Literally a child. They signed a child and locked him in an octagon to fight a grown man. And he beat him. He beat him up.
Beat him up bad.
It's the craziest story in UFC history, and it always will be. So I'm just really excited to see him fight at UFC 282. It's a big spot. It's a pay-per-view. I mean, imagine being 17, whatever, just turned 18. You're still a kid, and your first fight is at UFC 282 on a pay-per-view in front of
Vegas.
Thousands of people.
Insane.
It's crazy, man. I wish nothing but the best for the kid. I'm a big fan. Win or lose, it don't matter. It don't matter to me.
Yeah, I'm very
just
excited for this kid's
his
career.
future.
Yeah, I cannot wait to watch what happens. A shout out to Raul Rojas Jr. Very excited for that. Let's move on to our preview show. Shout out to our Rumble gang, guys. We have 5 people watching on Rumble right now, but only 2 Rumbles. Smash that plus button, please, if you're watching right now. We have 6 people. Guys, smash the plus button on Rumble. We're really pushing Rumble right now. So if you're also watching on YouTube, go to our Rumble. Go subscribe. Guys, Rumble is the future. We're really going to be pushing Rumble in the future, especially here after our rebrand that we have planned here coming up into the new year. So go over to Rumble, subscribe, and smash the plus button, guys, please. All right, so main event of the evening, the first fight, as always, where we start. Marina Rodriguez coming into minus 210 to a plus 175. Amanda Lemos. This is going to be a fantastic matchup at 120 or this is 115, right? Yeah,
this is
strawweight. My bad. This is it's an absolutely fantastic matchup. Amanda Lemos, fantastic striker, fantastic grappler. Marina Rodriguez, even better striker, great grappling as well, extremely fast hands and feet, and is on a fucking streak right now that we haven't seen being done at 115 in a very long time. Women have been on shorter streaks and have gotten title shots. Marina Rodriguez gets this victory. She deserves a title fight. I don't give a fuck what happens at the top. She needs to fight for the title next. The fact that Marina Rodriguez hasn't fought for a title yet is actually crazy to me.
You could almost argue the same for Lemos, too. I mean, let's look at Marina Rodriguez here. Her last loss was a split decision to the current strawweight champion. Yes, that is none other than Carla Esparza. She lost back in 2020, but then since then has gone on and beat a really impressive list here. Amanda Ribas, Michelle Watterson, Mackenzie Dern, which is a really impressive win, and then Zhao Yanzanan. So, I mean, that is a list right there where you go, oh, my God, that is really impressive. But on the other side of Amanda Lemos, yes, she did fall up short against Jessica Andrade, came back and beat Michelle Watterson. But outside of that Jessica Andrade loss, she went on a tear. She won 5 fights in a row, beating girls like Angela Hill, Montserrat Ruiz, and then also Michelle Watterson. So, I mean, This is going to be a really close fight. I'm really excited for it, but I got to be honest here. I like the striking of Marina Rodriguez better. I think she's got more tools in the bag. I think she's going to utilize those kicks better.
And the length too.
Amanda's pretty lengthy too, though. But nonetheless, I like Marina Rodriguez here, man. 16-1-2. Give me Amanda all day. I'm putting 1,000 church coin on Rodriguez for the win.
Amanda Rodriguez?
Or Rodriguez. Marina Rodriguez.
Okay, I was confused. You said
Marina Lemos.
Amanda, yeah.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Miranda, whatever. I need to go to sleep.
Yep.
Miranda.
Mm-hmm. Close enough. Marina Rodriguez. I agree with you, dude. I'm I'm giving her the striking advantage as well, without a doubt. The length, the way she uses the hands, the kicks, the teep kicks, the front kicks, everything works so well. She's very good. She has anti-wrestling as well, especially if she starts piecing up Lemos, and Lemos tries taking her down to the ground. I don't see Marina going down very easily. And if she does get down, she has very good ability to pop right back up. There's only been one woman to defeat her. That is, of course, the champion right now, and Carla Esparza, in a very controversial split decision. But you know what? Marina Rodriguez has got all the weapons to be a top contender in this division. She has all the weapons to be a future champion. I'm leaning with Marina Rodriguez. I'm going to take her over Lemos. I wouldn't be shocked if this was a finish. I'm going to go with Marina Rodriguez, but I'm going to say decision. It's probably going to go all 5 rounds, but she's going to completely outclass Amanda Lemos, in my opinion. So, guys, I am going with the heavy favorite of -210. I agree with this line, so I'm going to put 1,500 church coin on Marina Rodriguez for the victory. And I'm going to go a little different. You have decision, so I'll go Rodriguez KO 250.
All righty. All right, moving on to the next fight here in the welterweight division. Neil Magny versus Daniel Rodriguez. Neil Magny coming in at the slight favorite here at a -120 to a +100. Daniel Rodriguez at 17-2. Tabor, how do you see this one going down?
This is an extremely competitive matchup. I fucking love this fight. I really do. I love Daniel Rodriguez. That last fight with Li Jingliang was so razor thin close. A lot of people thought Li won. A lot of people leaned Daniel. A lot of people went Li. It was a very competitive matchup. It was an extremely close matchup. I did think Li Jingliang got enough to get the nod, but Daniel ended up walking away with the victory, and he's getting rewarded. And I think he should have been rewarded even if he did lose that fight with a big matchup against Neil Magny. Neil Magny is the most savviest of savvy vets at 170. He's fought everybody in this division. He's beaten some and he's lost some. He's on a bit of a skid right now, but this is a very good matchup for both these men. Neil Magny can absolutely outclass Daniel Rodriguez on the ground, but Daniel Rodriguez, if it stays on the feet, the hand speed, the power he has, everything flows with him so fucking well, and he's been fighting very active. He fights like once every couple months. So I really like Daniel Rodriguez in this matchup. I'm probably going to go with D-Rod. He's an even money favorite here. This is a very close line, and I agree with the line, dude. This isn't like, there's no heavy favorite here. This is a coin flip of a fight here. So I'm going with Daniel Rodriguez. I'm going to put 1,000 church coin on him.
Okay, 1,000 church coin on Daniel Rodriguez. I would have to agree here. I do like Daniel Rodriguez in this fight at 17-2. He's definitely got the KO capability. Out of his 17 wins, 8 of them have come from knockout. But he's not just a one-dimensional fighter either. He can also submit you. He's had 4 submission wins and only 5 decisions throughout his career. He's currently on a 4-fight win streak, beating guys like Mike Perry, Preston Parsons, Kevin Lee, and Jingliang. So a really impressive lineup there. Neil Magny on the other side, not doing terrible, beat Jeff Neal, beat Max Griffin, but then came up real short against Shavkat Rakhmonov, but who doesn't? This is going to be a good matchup. I think on the ground, I think Neal's actually got the slight advantage, though, submission-wise, I would say. I think his ground game's really, really top level. But I think this will primarily stay on the feet, and I think Daniel's just got a little bit more power. And for that reason, I'm going to go Daniel Rodriguez here. I'm going to put 1,000 church coin on Rodriguez for the win.
All right, let's move on to the next matchup. We have Chase Sherman at a -110 to a -110. Josh Parisian, literal coin flip of a matchup. Chase Sherman has struggled as of late. I think he did. Is he coming off a victory or is he coming off of a loss?
Chase Sherman's coming off a loss.
That's what I thought. Josh Parisian, there's not much to break down here.
I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't really know either. Guys, this is just a coin flip. Like, pick a guy. They're both going to fucking go out there. They're going to get winded in the first round. They're going to slug it out until someone either goes to sleep or there's a sloppy decision.
His last fight, he beat Jared Vandera. That's right. He KO'd him in the third round.
Well, good for him. So good for him. Chase Sherman, Josh Parisian, just make a pick, baby. It all doesn't fucking matter. It's the same line-wise. I agree with this. Someone's probably going to sleep. They're going to sling. They're going to bang. It's going to be dirty. It's going to be sloppy, and I can't wait to watch. So I'm going to actually go Parisian, 500 church coin, because why not?
All right. Yeah, I'm going to go with, as he calls himself, the Vanilla Gorilla, I believe, is Sherman here.
That's
yeah,
right.
I'm actually going to go with Sherman. Why the hell not? I'm not going to put too much on him because I don't have that much faith in him. But I'm going to go 500 church coin on Sherman for the win at even money.
All right. Let's move on to the next matchup. We have Tagir Ulambekov. I think I did that right. Coming in at minus 175 to a plus 150, Nate Menez. Nate the Train Menez. This is a close fight. Guys, you know how I always go with these fights, though. Russian-sounding last name. It's a guy that I don't really know of. Have we watched Ulambekov? I feel like that name is kind of popping off the page for me for sure. Who's he last defeated?
Erman Bekov, his last defeat, or his last fight, he was defeated by Tim Elliott. That was at UFC 272 back in March 5th. Okay. That was his last fight.
I'm going with the Russian-sounding last name. He's the favorite for a reason, so I'm going to go with Ulambekov. I'm going to put 500 church coin on him because why not?
All right, yeah, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go with Menez here, and I'm going to put 250 church coin on him for the win.
All right, next matchup, we have Grant Dawson at minus 220 to a plus 180, Marco Madsen.
Still undefeated.
Very interesting line here. Marco Madsen is a wrestling phenom, literal Olympic level wrestler here in the lightweight division. He is a little bit older. I don't think he's 40 yet, but I mean, he's up there. He's got to be 35.
He's like 38.
Yeah, he's getting very old, and he's unranked in this lightweight division. Undefeated Marco Madsen. I'm actually shocked he's not a favorite here. I like Grant Dawson a lot. Don't get me wrong. I think he's great. But Marco Madsen, if he gets on top, if he gets Dawson down, it's a fucking wrap. Marco Madsen's going to smash him into the mat. So I'm going Marco Madsen here. I'm going with the dog, the plus 180. And I'm going to put 500 church coin on him.
Alrighty, yeah, I'm going to put, I really like Grant Dawson here. I mean, he's got such an impressive record here to 18-1-1. I think he's a very, very well-rounded fighter. I do like Marco Madsen, but the one thing that I noticed in the last fight of Marco Madsen, I forget who his opponent was, but I remember this very distinctively. He gassed very bad in that third round. It was on his way out. Somehow he overcame and just barely got that decision win. But Grant Dawson, man, is no joke. This guy can beat you anywhere, but more specifically, he can beat you in the ground game, and he can beat you with submissions. Out of his 18 wins, 12 of them have came by submission. I mean, this guy's just absolutely incredible. Just you look even at his last fight, where how he was able to submit Jared Gordon. It was absolutely tremendous. So I'm going to go Grant Dawson here all day. Sub. Give me 880 church coin.
All right. Last matchup that we will be picking, Jailton Almeida at a minus 700 to a plus 500, Max Grishin. I've never heard of either of these guys. They have very impressive records here. 32-9 for Max Grishin. A lot of octagon experience. And a heavy favorite at plus 500. A heavy dog plus 500. Almeida coming in at a minus 700. I don't know either of these guys. Have we seen them fight before?
Yeah, we've seen Maxim Grishin. I mean, I think he's been in the UFC for a long, long time, dude. Since 2020, so not a long, long time.
Yeah, it's just the name's just not popping off the page.
That name sounds familiar for whatever reason. But, he's had a spot. He's 2-2 in the UFC. His last victory, though, was against William Knight, which is pretty impressive. Jailton Almeida is on a really impressive win streak here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Out of those 11, 3 of them in the UFC, one on Dana White's Contender Series. So this guy just doesn't lose. 11 submissions, 6 KOs, and 0 decisions out of all of his wins. This is an easy one for me. I'm going Almeida all day, 100 church coin.
All right, I would agree with you. It's an easy one, but a minus 700, what's the point of putting 100 down? Like, I'll just put 100 down on Grishin and pray that he gets the victory. That's for true. A 500 church coin return there. So, yeah, that's my pick so far this week. Let's go on to parlays. I'll let you give your parlay first.
Okay, so my parlay here is going to be Marina Rodriguez, Daniel Rodriguez, and Dawson. I like to call this the Triple D parlay, baby. Go ahead and give me $650 on that.
What makes it Triple D?
Diners, drivers, and dives.
Again, I'm not getting sleep. I don't know.
He
You're
said
right. The way I said that was so much confidence, and there's 2 R's. Marina Rodriguez, those are R's.
Daniel Rodriguez. That was correct.
Holy shit.
His brain's not working. It's so funny.
It is funny. I've been up, guys. So the live stream yesterday, I haven't slept. So apologies. I'm going to get to sleep in a couple hours. I cannot wait. It's been a long 28 hours.
I'm also going with a 3-fight parlay. I'm going to go Marina Rodriguez, Daniel Rodriguez. But what makes mine different is instead of Grant Dawson, I'm going to go with Marco Madsen here. So that fight will decide our parlays, essentially. So Grant, instead of Grant Dawson, I'm going Marco Madsen. I'm going to go 500 church coin on that 3-fight parlay.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Yep. Let's do it. Guys, once again, thank you so much for showing up. We are going to end this one now because Mason needs to go to bed.
I got to go pick up a new washer and dryer because mine just went out, which is great.
Just
Can't
falls
wait to
asleep
do that.
as he's holding it up.
No, Ken Dog's driving because I will fall asleep if I'm behind the wheel. I'm like moving my feet underneath the table just to like stay awake. Okay, so yeah.
Need some
it is
coffee.
what it is. I drank a whole thing of coffee, a whole cold brew.
Damn.
I'm doing all right. I'm fine.
Is your heart okay?
No, I got a shit. It's crazy. So bad. It's just a coffee one right
Well, let's
through me.
stall.
Let's do it. I like this idea.
What's on
Let's
the agenda
stall.
for Have You Seen It this weekend?
I've already told you guys. If you didn't hear it on the Fight Computer, I'm not repeating myself. No, we are doing
Black Adam.
What are we doing? Black Adam. That's right. Thank you. Black Adam and hopefully The Barbarian if I can get around to watching it. Me and Cash are meeting up tomorrow. Because I cannot meet up tonight. I got to get some sleep before work. So that's what's on the agenda. A couple trailer reactions and whatnot, but looking forward to it. Go check out the Have You Seen a Podcast.
What's The Barbarian
subscribe.
about?
It's a horror film. It's a horror film that was in theaters that I did not get an opportunity to see. It's kind of got that indie feel to it. Looks really good. Got really good reviews. So I'm actually excited to watch it. It's on HBO Max right now, but I just got to wait.
All right, guys, if you have not already subscribed to the Have You Seen It podcast, make sure you go down below and do that as well. Subscribe over there. It's Mason's movie review podcast. It's a lot of fun. They have a lot of fun over there, so go check that out. Also, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you go to our Patreon. $10 a month, $5 a month, and I think $15 a month. The upper tiers gives you discount on our Teespring store, so go to our Teespring store as well. That also should be down in our link tree on our channel or in the description. Gives yourself, a bunch of different merch. We have a bunch of different designs. All the designs go on every piece of merch, and go check all that out. We got everything over there, guys. So make sure you check it out. All that money goes right back into the show. Obviously, guys, we did get demonetized before we went live this week. So our memberships are stalled. You will not be charged this month for a membership. We will not be able to remonetize till the end of next month. Hopefully that all goes smoothly. We will keep you guys updated as we go along with that. But we're still going live, baby. We're going to be going live this weekend for a Fight Companion, and we will also be live Sunday as always. So if you haven't already, make sure you smash the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know each and every single time we go live, guys.
Yep.
We're also live on Rumble and Twitch. Go check those out, guys. Way better streaming quality on Twitch, guys. We don't really have a good following on Twitch, but if you really want to see this beautiful face in 1080p, a true 1080p, go follow that on Twitch. Subscribe over there. Subscribe on our Rumble. Smash the like button on all the platforms. Smash that plus button on Rumble. Guys, when you see our shorts, our TikToks, anything like that, share them on your social media accounts. It really helps us grow. Sharing is caring. Showing is growing, guys.
Yep.
Also, subscribe to the channel on everyone's phone you got access to. Go to your mom's phone. Make her YouTube account. Subscribe down below. Push us to 1,000 subscribers on Rumble. Push us to 2,000 subscribers here on YouTube. If that happens, Mason will kickbox Andrew Tate. It's already signed. We just need to hit those subscriber numbers before it actually can happen.
100%. That's all 100% true. We are going to do that. Thank you guys again for tuning into the podcast. Another episode. It is completed.
If you haven't already, go follow our social media accounts, guys. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the same at the Church of MMA. Guys, we're posting funny memes, trying to make you guys laugh. Hit us up.
Thank you guys so much for watching and listening to the Church of MMA podcast. My name is Mason Knight. That is Tamer Cragen. One and only Devin Davis on the ones and twos doing a tremendous job. Until next time.
Peace.